Elle Macpherson, known as The Body, has long been one of Australia's proudest exports. Now with the release of her autobiography, she's still making headlines.
What do you want to know? I was diagnosed with breast cancer, let's put it simply.
After a lumpectomy to remove her pre-invasive cancers, Elle said she was given confronting news.
Mastectomy, chemotherapy, radiation and hormone replacement.
Were you going to do that?
I had a feeling that there was a different way to approach this.
Elle said she opted for alternative methods that included fasting, solitude and holistic dentistry. This approach worried many in the medical profession.
We've already started to see people here in Australia say, well, if Elle can cure her cancer by an alternative approach, then that's what I want to do. And that's very concerning.
Have you seen that happen among patients here?
Yes.
Elle said she consulted several wellness gurus about treatment options. One of them, Simone Laubscher, an Australian, is Elle's longtime nutritionist and business consultant.
Hi everyone, as per my latest blog, I put together a brand new protocol. Flax seeds, chia seeds, I get my bare feet on the earth for at least 20 minutes a day. It's a reflection of my own healing journey.
Elle's wellness company, Wellco, is registered in Australia. Simone is a shareholder and formulated the company's Super Elixir supplements.
I'll answer it from a consumer point of view, and then Simone can answer it from a doctor's point of view.
Simone Laubscher featured several times in the company's Ask the Doctor Q&A series. Elle wrote in her book that Dr. Laubscher was one of the first people she contacted after her diagnosis, because Simone already had many patients with cancer. Simone helped sort through various alternative and pharmaceutical treatments, most suited for her diagnosis, including chemo and other alternative options.
I understand that mind-body connection and the emotional roots of disease, and you work on those and patients get well.
Over the years, Simone has had her PhD described in different ways. A PhD in nutrition and toxicology, a PhD in longevity and internal pollution, a PhD in nutrition and oxidative stress, and a PhD in cancer.
I treat everything. I did a PhD in cancer.
Today, one of my favorites, Dr. Simone Laubscher.
And she says she's currently completing another PhD.
I'm doing another PhD at the moment in neuroscience with my hubby.
Simone claimed in her bio to have bachelor's and master's degrees in nutrition and a PhD from the University of New South Wales. UNSW has confirmed that Simone has none of these. Her only degree from the university is a Bachelor in Sport Science, completed in 1998. The university contacted Simone in 2022, demanding she immediately stop false and misleading representations of her academic qualifications from UNSW. Simone agreed to comply.
When someone describes themselves as a doctor, it can be confusing and dangerous for patients if they believe that person is an oncologist and believes that they are medically trained and are giving appropriate advice.
In a statement, Simone said the claims in her bio were an error made by her IT team. However, Elle Macpherson's company Wellco continued to promote Simone's UNSW PhD well after the university demanded she stop. There is no suggestion that Elle Macpherson or Wellco were aware that Simone was falsely claiming to have a UNSW PhD. In response to our questions, Simone provided certificates showing she holds a Master's in Nutrition and Naturopathic Health, awarded in 2006, and a Doctor in Philosophy in Naturopathic Health, awarded in 2010 from the Global College of Natural Medicine. The online college was shut down in 2012 and was involved in a class action by former students who claimed they never received the degrees they paid for. The college was not endorsed by any accreditation bodies recognised by the US Department of Education. 730 has found evidence Simone was being referred to as a doctor from as early as 2004. At least 6 years before she says she was awarded her PhD. Simone said she's currently studying a doctorate in integrative medicine at Quantum University, also not recognised by any US Department of Education accreditation bodies. In the early 2000s, Simone moved from Sydney to London, where she began working in a Soho-based clinic.
She was a nutritionist, and she had a particular interest in anti-ageing.
Dr. Eric Asher was head of medical services at Third Space Medicine from 2001 until 2021. It was a holistic medical service offering alternative therapies. Dr. Asher is a GP and homeopath.
I was her boss.
What was your impressions of her professionally?
Competent, charismatic, very, very confident.
How might God use you?
Outside work at her church Hillsong in London, she was regarded as a health expert, says Rachel Bennett, who met Simone through church.
I've known Simone for 20 years. She developed a real reputation as a health practitioner, someone that people would see just for general lifestyle changes, but also over time people would see her with genuine medical conditions as well.
Rachel says she has grown wary of Simone's advice. Some of it was too alternative for her liking.
I remember one of them was to administer, I think it was a daily coffee enema, and I just thought, no. And then the second one was having naked infrared saunas. And that was always like a little flag to me. I remember listening to it and thinking, well, for someone with a PhD, this isn't scientific.
Back in 2004, what did you understand her profession to be?
I understood her profession to be a doctor. I knew it wasn't a medical doctor. I just simply accepted Dr. Simone. She said that she had a science degree and that she had done a master's and a PhD in, I think it was toxicology and nutrition.
That allows the nutrition to go into every single cell of the body.
Was she a doctor?
No, of course not.
Eric Asher was Joint Head of Medical Services at the Soho Clinic. Simone Laubscher told 730 she held that role from 2003 until 2004 for around 18 months while also working as a nutritionist.
Working there as a nutritionist, and then I was handpicked as Joint Head of Medical Services.
On her LinkedIn, she said she held that title for 5 years. We showed Dr. Asher a copy of her LinkedIn account.
What a load of rubbish. It's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. I have no idea why she would put such a thing down. It is not true.
Because this is publicly available on her LinkedIn account.
Yes, and it's not true.
After 730 contacted Simone, she changed the claim on her LinkedIn account. In 2006, Simone left Third Space Medicine and opened her own wellness practice. Rejuve had an office in London's esteemed Harley Street. It was there that one day in 2013, Elle Macpherson turned up for a consult. Elle wrote in her book that she had a cancer scare, and Dr. Simone Laubscher, PhD, was renowned for her work in a number of conditions, including cancer. The scare turned out to be a benign cyst, but Elle wrote that she still booked an appointment with Simone to talk about her diet.
I bought her this array of vitamins I was taking, put them all out on the table to her, and I said, I'm taking all these vitamins. I don't know why I feel like this.
We'll talk with my very special guest today, Dr. Simone Laubscher.
My mother got cancer, so I thought I really wanted to go off, and maybe I didn't see many good results back then with Western medicine with cancer. I'm going to go on a mission to get myself well, and I'm going to use that science to help my mom.
Simone said that in 2017 she was also diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer, but cured it herself.
I don't need to do. And I saw my oncologist. She said, I told you the other day, she patted me. And she said, see you after the summer holidays in September. I'll do surgery, chemo, radio. And I'm like, give me 100 days and I'll probably be gone. And she patted me. She said, oh, yes, yes. See you in September. Rolled her eyes at me, came back, the lump had gone. She was like, what? No surgery, no chemo, nothing. Because, I've been doing this for a long time, so I knew what to do. And that was all emotional junk and trauma that I hadn't dealt with, even though I was physically well.
Simone has said in an interview she supports a patient's choice when it comes to chemotherapy, but she believes that their bodies can heal the cancer.
You mentioned cancer briefly.
Yes.
And what we haven't told the audience yet, that you were able to reverse your cancer. Can you talk to us about that? Because that's an interesting
I was
story.
even talking to a patient in Egypt yesterday, and she's a medical doctor and she's on the cancer journey. And she said, but how? Like, how? No, you can't clear the tumor. And I said, let me ask you a question. If your body knew how to create the tumor, why do you think it's not intelligent enough to dissolve the tumor? I could see her brain was just, and she was like, what? I made a mistake.
So you didn't go through chemo, didn't do radiation.
No, I didn't need to.
You did your own protocols and it worked.
Yeah.
That is phenomenal.
Is it phenomenal?
It's actually unbelievable.
Oncologist Professor Fran Boyle watched a number of videos where Simone Laubscher describes her approach to cancer patients, including herself. Professor Boyle says she was alarmed at what she saw.
That's very upsetting for people who have been recommended surgery, chemo, radiotherapy, to hear someone say, oh, all you have to do is fix up your stuff. And that makes it sound like it's your fault that you've got cancer, and I hate that.
When you go and see a doctor, there's an expectation of the level of professionalism. People are going to trust you, and you're putting on your website that you treat all these serious illnesses, and you don't have those qualifications. This is dangerous, and something needs to be done.